Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled Failed Swinging Plus Affair. And a shout out to Marco for sending over this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, husband and father, who is seriously considering divorce after he's been one SHIT show after another with his wife. You're going to see that his wife, who is a wonderful girl, and you can pick up on my sarcasm there, recently thought it'd be a brilliant idea to get into swinging. And this guy, because he's so pee-whipped and fearful, goes along with it to preserve his wonderful marriage. And absolutely no surprise, you're going to see it doesn't work out too well. And now our guy's on the fence about divorcing her or not. Because guess what? There was more going on behind the scenes. And I might add, guys, another lesson in this story than the obvious swinging and open relationships don't work. And when they bring that up, it's usually because they want to cheat and are already cheating, is what happens when a man acts weak. Whether his weakness is actually true weakness or is perceived weakness by her, how women treat you. Women are disgusted by weak men. Spineless. Guys that are pushovers. Those types. Blue pill guys. Nice guys. That type. You act that way, if you act like a BIT, you're going to get treated like a BIT. And this guy is going to show this here. But hopefully, at the end of the story, some of you guys will learn from his situation not to behave this way. I cover these stories. They're funny and entertaining. But they're also sometimes make you want to just smack the guy, aside from me doing it, for the way they behave. But hopefully, by him posting this, maybe saying this, he will learn and handle things accordingly. So, a lot of lessons here in this particularly painful story you're about to hear. He says, well, my life has been a wild ride for the past couple of years, and I need some advice. Well, man, you've come to the right place. But by the time I'm done with it, you're going to need an ice pack on your face from all the smacks you're going to get. I'm on the brink of divorce of my choosing, but my wife is trying her hardest to convince me to give her one more shot. Our story could fill a couple of novels at this point, but I'll try to give you the condensed version. The only reason I'm posting this is because she has made me think that I'd be doing the right thing by giving her another shot, that anyone else in my shoes would give their wife another chance. There is no way anybody else in your shoes would give their wife another chance after what you've been through, bro. Except her perception of you is that you're a weak doormat and that you will. And you have behaved like a weak doormat. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on whether she deserves another chance, if the marriage is salvageable, or if enough is enough and it's time to move on. Really, you have to ask? The condensed story is this. My wife and I have been together for about 15 years, but married for only 5 of those. We have an 11-year-old son. Things haven't been great for a while. There's an effing surprise. She met a married guy, and they started messaging, said it was just friendly, and she was sort of open about it, or at least honest about the part she wanted to share. It turns out that he and his wife, we can call them Jack and Jill, dabbed in swinging, and Jack and my wife started talking about that lifestyle. Ready? Smack! Your wife shouldn't be talking to other guys, married or single, or I don't care what. You are the number one guy in her life. Why the hell are you allowing that? You're enabling her behavior. And I don't want to hear, I don't want to be controlling. Dude, you set standards. Period. Pretty soon, she was approaching me about swinging with them. Gee, there's a surprise. Sounds like Jack just wants to bang her. I didn't want to at first. I told her that there was a very small chance this would help our relationship, and as a much greater chance it would ruin us completely. Well, you're right about that. She basically told me that she wanted to pursue it, and I needed to get on board. And like a man, Johnny, you did. Smack. No. And by the way, guys, do you hear her the way she said that to him? Does this sound like she respects him very much or loves him? No. In her mind, he's a jackass. He's weak, and she's punishing him for that. You never out weak guys. They are repelled by weak guys. I should also say that there's been quite a bit of degrading and emotional abuse. Aha, nobody's surprised. I've done my part, but she openly admits that she does it much more. She gets angry easily and will lash out at me. She'd regularly yell at me, call me names, and pick at my weaknesses in a degrading way. This also happens sometimes in front of our son. Smack! You should never allow that, man. You need to stand up for yourself. Now, she's a giant a-hole, we can all agree there, but again, you're asking if this marriage is salvageable. A woman that treats you like that? Really, you think that's salvageable? Your kid is better off in a household where you're split up. Your son is either going to turn into the exact opposite of you because he's sick of seeing you act weak and being put down by your wife, or he's going to turn into a guy just like you and get involved with a woman just like her. Do you want that? I know I'm talking a lot, guys, but this is a cautionary tale of what not to do. So I thought that the relationship was nearing divorce. She was pushing to try swinging, and it would either break us up completely or maybe help us. How is it going to help you, dude? Really? So I went along with it. Smack! Yeah, great idea. We started getting to know them and became good friends. There was a group chat going on with some dirty photos, and that would be sent. But otherwise, it was a pretty vanilla in the swinging area. The sex between my wife and I actually did get better during that time. Yeah, because she's thinking about Jack. Things went fine, mainly as 4 friends that flirted, for quite a while. We had one night where things got pretty close to actually swinging, but we each stayed with our spouses. Then things started to get sour between my wife and Jack. Soon there was a dislike between them that we all could see and feel. I was fine being around everyone, and she was still good friends with Jill. Obviously, there's a reason that something's up with Jack and his wife. Then she told me she had a sexting video and occasional kissing feeling up behind my back and Jill's back. I asked her several times if more happened between them, and she looked me in the eyes and promised me that nothing else happened. So they're in a swinging relationship. Obviously, things are probably supposed to be just when they're all together, hooking up and all that. But now there's things going on behind the scenes between the two of them. Gee, who would have seen that coming? This is what happens, dude. It's high time you divorced the bitch. She said there was no real fooling around, and he just got a little carried away. Oh, okay, honey. That she was doing it for our marriage, and the other guy would just wanted to screw her. She's making out with another guy for their marriage. This is some serious hoe logic here. He was the bad guy, and she was deceived. Of course, he's the bad guy. Women and accountability. This definitely hurt me. I thought I was friends with this guy, and she pushed me to do things with him to be a better friend. They were talking about what was said to be a swinging thing and making it about them. This guy's a freaking putz. It's like these types have to suffer and suffer and suffer till they finally wake up. And do they ever really wake up? My God. And by the way, that part when he said she pushed me to do things with him to be better friends, does she mean like the whole group activity or actually like those two doing things? I hope to God. Because if it's the other thing and he didn't want to do it, but he did just to make her happy, guy on guy stuff, I mean, no amount of smacks I can do that will ever stop. She told me this when she saw that I was still friends with him despite her and Jack's fallout. You're friends with him? Are you out of your mind? I don't think she told me because she felt morally obligated, but because she wanted me to be mad at Jack and no longer friendly with him. Why would you be friends with him, jackass? Smack! About 8 months go by, and I'm basically over what I thought was fairly minor cheating. After all, we were both seeing how this swinging thing would go, even if it went very badly. However, things were worse between my wife and I. She got to the point where any little thing would set her off. I was yelled at and degraded regularly. I'm pretty laid back normally, but I was resentful and would snap back at her when she started poking at my weaknesses. What I tell you again, guys, about women, when you act weak or they perceive you as weak, a lot of them will either punish you for that or just put you in situations to test your strength to stand up for yourself. He does fire back at her, but it's almost like 2 chicks fighting. I'm surprised they're not pulling each other's fucking hair. Then I found something that makes it clear that much more had happened between them. Really? Who would have thought? I asked her about it, and she denied it. I tell her that I know more, and she needs to come clean with me, but again, she refuses. I finally tell her that I know what she did, and if she doesn't come clean, I'm leaving her. Well, she finally admits to giving him head and fooling around behind my back, as well as Jill's back. She said it was through and admitted to a couple occasions. So when she's coming home and maybe kissing him, guess what? She has Jack's dick on her breath. Do y'all think it's just that? Something tells me he's getting trickle truth. At this point, I didn't believe her anymore. Well, it's about time, dude. Things got pretty bad. I remember her telling me that she told me everything she was going to tell me, and if I didn't believe her, I should be a man and confront Jack. You know what? Let's leave Jack out of this. He's a jackass, but no, we're getting divorced. That's what we're doing. And get your shit out and get out of here. A couple months go by, and I do just that. Jack either felt bad about the situation, or he didn't like her to point that he wanted to hurt her. It turns out she was lying to me. There were more times where they were together. She had also told Jack about a previous affair that she had years in the past. Shocker, serial cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. So here we are. She has admitted that what Jack told me about what she did with Jack is true. She missed it telling Jack about a previous affair, but says it was just a story and denies it actually happened. She says she made it up to keep up with his stories and prove she was experienced enough in that world. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Her nose, growing, very long. Birds and shit are on her long-ass nose, like Pinocchio. Well, I tell her I'm done. I'm going to file for divorce. Thank the Lord. It's about time you grew a pair. Now act on it. She has completely flipped a 180 on our relationship, and she tells me how I'm the only one she's ever loved, and she would never sleep with anybody else, and she turned down Jack several times when it came to that. She says couples work through infidelity all the time, and I just need to try, if nothing else, for our son. She has to throw in the kid in there. Yeah, and where's this son when they're out having swingers nights with all these people? The babysitter's there? Yeah, great parenting, Mom and Dad. And yes, I'm blaming the dad, too, for going along with this. What a freaking mess. For God's sakes, split up. Problem is, with a guy like this, he'll just get back in a relationship with someone like her, unless he learns where he's going wrong. I do not believe her. She has admitted to lying to me so many times now. I don't trust her and have a hard time seeing how I could ever trust her again. To top it off, she was controlling and abusive for many years, but she's begging me for another chance, an opportunity for her to show me she has changed. Dude, she's not changed. The second you say the divorce is off and all that, she's going to go right back to belittling you in front of your son, yelling at you, throwing tantrums, and oh yeah, cheating on you. She's doing this because in her perception of you, and frankly it's pretty accurate, is that you're weak. End of freaking story. She's an asshole, but you're the asshole too because you have allowed her to behave this way and stay with her. She knows there's no consequences with you. That's what women do. And a lot of times they'll marry guys that they're not in love with because they want a guaranteed paycheck. And I got to say, what everybody's thinking here, holy crap, how do you know if that kid's yours? She has a history of cheating. I hope the kid's yours because you obviously love the child, but holy shit. If you don't end the relationship for yourself, do it for your son, because your son will likely end up with a woman just like her, thinking that's normal. What do you think? What do I think? Should I believe her about previous affairs Jack mentioned? Do people ever really get over betrayal like this that's wrapped in constant lies? Is the cheating and the emotional abuse enough for me to walk away? Is the old saying, once a cheater, always a cheater, true in situations like this? Smack! I can't believe you're asking these questions. Yes, dumbass. I feel lost. On the one hand, I'm hurt and feel betrayed. On the other, we have a son together, and I do see that she is truly hurting. She's not hurting. I know her world is dissolving, and she's really pressing me to give her another chance. Any advice would be appreciated. Well, you asked. I've been kind of trickling it through the whole fucking video. Bro, just because you've been a mangina and allowing all this crap to happen all these years doesn't mean you have to be a mangina for one more day. You can find the strength in you that's there. We all know it's there, and do what's right. And what's right? Get rid of her. Go to a lawyer. I don't care what it costs. Get the best one in town. In fact, talk to lots of lawyers in town so then she can't hire them. They'll listen to your little thing pro bono until they hire you, you know. And then, not pro bono, but they'll listen to you. And then if you hire them, then the meter will start running. And find out all your options. And if you get taken a hit, you take a hit. You'll survive. You can't go on a relationship like this. And then you got to take it one day at a time, have her served, do everything you can to get at least half custody of your kid, amongst many other things, and get out of there. And then work on yourself to find out, why are you such a pushover? Why are you allowing yourself to be treated like this? Why did you go along with things you didn't want to go along with, etc., etc.? Because if you don't figure out and get to the bottom what caused you to behave this way, I swear to God, history will repeat itself, and you'll end up with a woman just like her. And it'll be all over again. And you deserve better. You know, you've acted weak, you've acted like a jackass, but it doesn't mean you have to be that way forever. I've been very harsh, but you know what? As a guy, and I know how guys are, we need to be yelled at and have some sense smacked into us verbally and physically sometimes. And that's what I've been doing here. So for God's sakes, man, grow a pair. Get rid of her. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about your kid. Look at her actions. Actions tell everything. So Do what I say. Otherwise, you stay with her, the suffering will continue. And if you stay with her at this point, I sure as hell ain't going to feel bad for you. And nobody else on Reddit is going to feel bad for you. Life ain't over. You'll be all right, you know? But for God's sakes. Now some comments here, guys, to see I'm not alone here. This guy says, buddy, she took another dude in her mouth many times, and she choked until most likely blew his load that she took and enjoyed. And she obviously kissed you after the fact at some point. That is a foul-ass woman, bro. If that shit happened once, I wouldn't continue. And she's had sex with him many, many times, just so you know. She probably just thought his you-know-what game was weak, and for the risk. You deluded yourself by thinking that you had something with her. If you stay with her, just don't take it too serious, and I'd be out having my fun too. She ruined everything. No, don't stay together and go have your fun too. Just end it. Another one. Guy says, I can guarantee that nobody would be given another chance after everything your wife has done to you and your marriage. Walk away now and know your worth. You and your son deserve so much better than her. She's putting the tears on because she knows that she's going to lose everything, and it's her fault, and she can only blame herself for the predicament, and you need to get a lawyer and get everything done to help you and your son. Yes, if you're not going to do it for you, man, do it for your son. My God. Another one. This guy says, do you even love and respect yourself? Forces swinging and cheating aside, she's been toxic towards you in front of your son. If that's not enough to swear you, then at least go apologize to your son for forcing him to live through it. Yeah, thank you. And one more. This guy says here, let's just say you take her back, and maybe she never cheats on you again. In the end, you're still left with emotional damage, and you'll never be able to look at her the same way again. Frankly, he'll never be able to look at himself again. His son will never look at him the same way again. When tensions between you both simmer down and things seem back to normal, she'll get comfortable and ramp up the verbal abuse and insults once again when she realizes you're still not good enough for her. This is not healthy. The fact that she thought swinging would be good for your marriage is fucked up. Your intuition was correct. If you stay with her, you will think about divorce plenty more times down the road, and that's not a marriage you want to be in. Leave and find somebody that only wants you. Serve her the papers. Amen. Ultimately, there's going to be a divorce. And what's funny is in a lot of these stories that the guy just he won't do it. The guy won't do it because he's so afraid it will happen or, you know. And finally, the woman ends up leaving the guy. So a divorce is going to happen one way or another. Better he be the one to do it and do it now. Because the longer he's with her, the more miserable he's going to be. The more the son is going to think this is normal and screwed up. And not to mention, the more it's going to cost him down the road. So for God's sakes. So guys, I know that was painful. But I got to do these to make my point. You act like a bitch, you're going to get treated like a bitch. Nothing good comes from the open relationships, open marriages, swinging, all that. If they want to do that, they don't love you anymore. Accept it. It's tough pill to swallow, but better you deal with it. You know, I mean, I once heard somebody say recently when it comes to the R pill, you literally got to take the R pill suppository and shove it up your ass to wake up and realize the reality. Well, this is reality. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, if you find a good video you want me to cover, send it my way, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's a good one, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.